Hello, it's Rob from Fountain Pen Journey. Now, my previous pen review was of the Diplomat Magnum. If you haven't seen that, I'll put the link down below. Check it out, because this pen is a world apart. This is the Diplomat Traveller in the Flame finish. Vastly different pen. I can't emphasize enough how one brand, one manufacturer can produce pens at such ends of the scale. And do hit the subscribe button, because after this I have yet another rather big mammoth pen review coming up of another Diplomat pen, another Diplomat fountain pen. So do hit the subscribe button, because you really don't want to miss that. It's interesting, it's exciting, it covers several different versions, if you like, of the same fountain pen, and spoiler alert, it is one of the best pens that I have used so far in my entire fountain pen journey. It's a real good pen. But so is this. This is the Diplomat Traveller. Now, it's a metal pen and it's quite slim. So these are the things that you're going to have to consider. I bought this primarily because it came in the flame finish, and I really do like this finish. Basically, it's stainless steel that they blowtorch. I mean, to be honest, I've worked on metals such as stainless steel, and I've created this fireblue effect by mistake. And it's quite a good finish. It doesn't really come off. It will do eventually if you braid it, but then again, most finishes will if you do that. But this is, it's pretty permanent, so I wouldn't worry too much about this finish sort of being worn off over general use. So the flame finish, it's a fire blue finish. The reason I bought this was because the other pens that I've seen in this fire blue type finish have been just extraordinarily expensive, in my own opinion. I do concentrate on the cheaper fountain pens, so anything below 150 quid, that's my thing. And even then, quite honestly, I prefer to use a good pen for that costs maybe £20 maximum, $20 maximum, something like that, rather than spend £150 on a pen. But this one is worth it, and it's not anywhere near that price. I think I paid something like £46 or something for this pen, and it's worth every single penny. So, Diplomat Flame, well, Diplomat Traveller in Flame finish. nice looking metal pen. It is all metal. It's not hugely heavy though, so do remember that you're not going to get that. So let's look over the pen. Now, I love the Diplomat finials. They're these little cap jewels. So as you can see, it's a translucent, I'm guessing, plastic cap on the top with the Diplomat logo beneath it. Nice little touch. The cap is, cylindrical. You can see what it is. It is what it is. The clip is, in my view, a little bit reminiscent of Pelican in actual shape, but it isn't. It definitely is not. Here's a Pelican M200 for comparison. You can see there is some similarity, but Diplomat and Pelican, two very good German fountain pen or pen manufacturers, and there is a cutout in the clip. Now, the clip itself is really tight, really tight. So if you're after a pen which is either not going to slide out of your pocket or is easy to put on your pocket, you're going to have to bear that in mind. There's not a lot else going on the pen other than this fire blue finish. We do have a chrome silver coloured cap. Well, it's not actually, there we go, it's not actually the cap band, it's actually where the section meets the barrel. Click that back on there, and the barrel is cylindrical and sort of tapers down a little. Well, it does taper down slightly towards the top here, which is just polished steel, nothing fancy there. It is an insert. So overall, there's the pen. Now, it is a metal pen, but it isn't a heavy pen. Now, I don't normally bother giving pen dimensions and weights because, you know, most people don't know the difference between 15.8 grams and 17.5, but because this is a metal pen and it is quite a lightweight metal pen, I thought that this would be important for you all to know. So only 20.6 grams all up with the cap on. Uncapped, 12.3 grams with the converter, which is inked. So it's not a massively heavy metal pen, and it's slim. So let's just pop the scales to one side and have a look at the rest of it. Well, this cap, first off, I will point out, I'm finding that this cap is it's very secure. There's the diplomatic. Can you hear that? I'll do it a bit nearer the camera. Don't jump. So that's uncapped. That's capped. So it's really quite stiff, but it is very secure. This cap is not going to fall off. It's not going anywhere. So we uncap it. In there is a cap liner, which is always good. I've never had any issues with this nib drying out and hard starting. So what nib have we got? Well, we have got it's a Diplomat steel. It's a steel nib, and this is a medium. This pen only really seems to be available with a medium nib. I don't know whether it is possible to get it with other nib widths, but it's a good medium. We'll see in the writing sample what I mean about that. Section, black plastic, nothing fancy. To be honest, I quite like the fact that it's a plastic section and not a metal section. I'm not terrified of metal sections, but I know some people don't like them. It is slim. This is, I mean, it's round. There's no weird things going on there. There is a black plastic feed beneath the nib, but it is slim. I find it really quite comfortable to hold. Think of it as pencil width. It's that sort of diameter. And as you can see, it's not a hugely long pen. It's a slim pen. And does it post? Yes, it does. Not very well, not very securely. Becomes long. It's not back heavy, but it's not a pen to post. It's just not very good from that point of view. And if you do decide that you're going to try and ram that cap on, you will definitely scratch this fire blue finish. So there we have the pen, and I love the design of it. I'm generally not a huge fan of slim pens, be they metal or otherwise, but I think it's good. It's a good weight, it's a good size. So let's compare it with, you know what, let's just go all in and compare it with two pens. My standard international reference pens, be it a Lamy All-Star, Safari, whatever you want to call these, they're all the same diameters, widths, lengths, everything. TWSBI Eco, and of course the Diplomat Traveller. Now, as you can see, they're very, very similar in length. The Diplomat is a tad shorter than both, a couple of mils or so. You're not really going to notice that, but you can see that the diameter of the Diplomat Traveller is much, much slimmer than both the TWSBI Eco and the Lamy All-Star. So uncap the pens and we shall give them a rough side by side lined up length comparison. I'm not going to bother posting the pens because I don't see the point in trying to post this. The Diplomat Traveller is not a postable fountain pen. So lengthwise, generally Diplomat is shade over a centimetre and I'd say probably about 12 millimetres shorter than the other two. So you do have to remember that, but it is still a good size. I mean, I've got size 9 hands, if you like, and yeah, fits perfectly well in my hand. I've written with this pen for some considerable time over the last few weeks, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with the way that it fits in my hand. I was a bit concerned at first because I thought, well, it looks nice, but have I bought a pen that's just too slim? No, really I haven't. This is good. So let's get straight into the writing sample, and you can see what I mean when I say that this is an affordable fountain pen that costs a bit more money, but it's definitely worth considering. So now I'm using the UK spelling here, double L. You will find that the American US spelling is single L, so do bear that in mind if you start searching for it and looking for this pen on eBay, for example, because it generally is very specific with the search terms. So this is the Diplomat Traveller Flame with a medium steel nib, and it's damn good. So let's write down the usual quick brown fox. So smooth, very, very, very smooth, very nice. There is a little bit of feedback, a tiny bit more feedback than you might expect with a pen of this, a nib of this quality, but you know, steel nib, and I feel that the nib quality and the quality of the pen justifies the price. So how does this ink and nib perform? I'd say medium to wet, definitely medium to wet, and it lays down ink with absolutely no problem whatsoever. Just out of interest, this is one of my favourite inks. It's a long name, so I shall just write it down. So Noodler's Black Swan in Australian Rose is really, really nice purpley red ink with a hint of blue. So I'm not going to talk about the ink too much, I just love it. Let's carry on with the writing sample. So reverse writing. There is a lot of feedback, but it's not scratchy, and it goes from a nice, fairly average, I'd say, medium width down to an extra fine. It's not terrible. I mean, you can quite happily write with this for ages and ages. It's not something I do, but it's useful to have, and I know some of you, some of my viewers who are artists love to be able to go from nice medium nib down to something which is extra fine for detailed work, or you know, things like that. So yeah, it definitely will do the job. It will be a good pen from that point of view. There we go, finally capped it. It's incredibly stiff. That's the only downside I've found with this pen. It is uncapping and capping is, I mean, you can do it one-handed, but it's, yeah, it's not something I would go for generally. The pen does come with a, no, it doesn't. It did not come with a converter, but it takes standard international cartridge converters. Just wanted to point that one out because it's quite an important thing if you're paying this sort of money for a pen. Not to get a converter cartridges, you can chuck a couple of few pence cartridges in with a pen, that's great, but I prefer a converter at this sort of price. But it's not a gripe because it is standard international. It's not proprietary filling systems or cartridge systems, so I am very pleased with that. You know, overall, uncapping and capping a little bit stiff. The fact that it doesn't come with a converter, when it comes in a nice gift box, which is just a cardboard generic Diplomat branded box, I'm not going to go into the unboxing and things with this because, let's face it, you get the pen out, generally you're not really interested in the packaging after that. So overall, yes, this pen definitely gets a thumbs up from me because it is a really, really nice finish. And it is the most affordable fountain pen with this finish. So if you're after a fire blue type finish, then the Diplomat Traveller in Flame finish is the one to have a think about. Obviously it's a slim pen, it is a light pen, it's robust, I mean, you know, this is good quality metal, stainless steel, but it's not super heavy. So if you're after something which is a little bit more accessible, for a slimline metal pen, it's a good option. So what else can I say about the pen? It writes superbly. That is, it speaks for itself, this pen. It writes so beautifully well. It still could write a little bit better. The smoothness isn't 100%, it's not glassy smooth, but it's good, and it's nicely wet enough, and it's consistent. It carries on writing and writing and writing. It never stops until you run out of ink. I've written pages with this pen, and quite honestly, yes, if I were to say what should my next level fountain pen be if all I've bought are cheap Chinese fountain pens, this is definitely on that list, because it's not even getting close to the, you know, next level top end price, which for a lot of people tends to be about $100, £100. This is less than half that, and it's worth every single penny or cent wherever you're watching in the world. This is a really good pen. So Diplomat Traveller, it is available in other colours, but the flame version, flame finish, really was what I wanted, and it ticks all of my boxes. So hope you found that this video was useful and interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.